what about this news, report from Harvard Business Review that 95% of the generative AI pilots are failing inside companies. So enterprises are very wary of adopting these solutions.
If you look at that report, the MIT report, and a number of others, like part of my motivation was to be able to understand why 3 years after the launch of ChatGPT, these AI projects are failing in enterprises. And when I started doing the digging, there are a number of foundational issues, and one of them is data, which is what I'm looking to try to solve for.
Exactly. And the context issue, and also the issue of people not going fully agentic. They're afraid. In the enterprises, they don't want to go wrong. So it looks like your company is aligning for better AI adoption.
So our focus is to improve the quality of data that you are going to be putting in AI projects, because after 3 years of ChatGPT, there's garbage in, garbage out, right? Now there are a lot of companies that are trying to solve for this in structured data form, right? Like phenomenal, then they should continue to do that. And there are also companies looking to do that in unstructured data. We just think that this is a very, very big industry. And the reason for that is because the volume of data that's being created in enterprises right now is accelerating at a pace we haven't seen. And the reason for that is if you wanted to create a document, pre-ChatGPT, you'd have to start up Google Doc or Microsoft Word, and then you'd have to type in, and then maybe you do voice transcription, etc. Now, you go into OpenAI or you go into Claude, ChatGPT or Claude, and you basically in a prompt say, create a 50-page document about Ridge Ventures and Yousuf Khan and his terrible dress sense, and put in a video about it and his ridiculous accent and his background, and make it sound really poetic. And within 5 minutes, it will create this document. Okay? Now, if you think about that in the enterprise, that document or that file now sits in the enterprise, and then it gets shared, and then it gets changed into different versions, and then one of those people leaves, and then 5 years later, all of that stuff is still there. And by the way, whilst that's happening, you're basically putting that into an AI project in some way, shape, or form. The same applies to Confluence, for example. So if you look at internal knowledge bases, they've got old crap sitting there. Why is that happening? So the way I look at it, I just want to be the Marie Kondo of enterprise data. I want to be able to sort of clean it up and to be able to provide that using AI. I think other people should be doing it. I think part of the reason that these AI projects fail is data quality. I think part of the reason is change management. I think part of the reason it fails is because of infrastructure. I think part of the reason is cost. And I think a big part of the reason is because there's literally fear about it going completely haywire.